Welcome back. All right, I verified that I did not do a career video on this player before because it feels like I've talked about Felix Potvin in videos when I do the historical stuff, and I thought, well, have I not done, and no, I've never done an actual video on the career of Felix the Cat Potvin, who was drafted 31st overall by the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1990. And the expectations were, well, pretty high. He had played well for Chicoutimi. And so by the time he got to Toronto, there was some hype. 91-92, he only plays 4 games with the Leafs. Ends up 0-2-1 in those 4 games, but a .933 save percentage. So good numbers, and the expectation was he is the goalie of the future, right? So the future was the present in 92-93, and in 48 games, he ends up with a record of 25, 15, and 7. His .910 save percentage was second overall in the NHL. So yes, the level of excitement was high. He plays 21 games in the playoffs, 11 wins, 10 losses, .903 save percentage. That, of course, is the year that Gretzky's Kings controversially take out the Toronto Maple Leafs and prevent them from going to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since 1967. But for Potvin, the sky's the limit. He's an all-rookie, he's third in Calder voting, and he's fourth in Vezina voting. So he's raised the bar really high. And that's the thing with young goaltenders. They can raise that bar really high, high expectations, great rookie season. It can be hard to follow it up. So his second year, he plays 66 games, 34 wins, which was fifth in the NHL, to go with 22 losses and 9 ties. .907 save percentage, which was 10th. So his save percentage, though it only drops 3 points, he goes from second overall to 10th. Save percentages will get better among goaltenders as we go through the 90s. Potvin's, not as much. So, in the playoffs, 18 games, 9 wins, 9 losses. They lost to Vancouver that year, of course. And a .912 save percentage. Now, he did play in the All-Star game. So, through two full seasons, all-rookie team, All-Star game, this is the goaltender that Toronto's going to ride for a long time. That was the belief. And honestly, 94-95, he had a decent season. Lockout shortened, so he played 36 games in a 48-game season. 15, 13, and 7 record. .907 save percentage again. In the playoffs, however, 3-4 record in 7 games. The good news, .921 save percentage over those 7 games. So, 95-96, 69 games played, 30 wins, which was 7th in the NHL, 26 losses, which was 9th in the NHL, and 11 ties, .910 save percentage, which put him 9th in the NHL. So he's back, right? This is where you can look and go, okay, so things are going pretty well for Toronto. But in the playoffs, he goes 2-4 with a .904 save percentage. He was in the All-Star game again. So through 4 seasons, now you've got 2 All-Star games, an all-rookie team appearance, and a 4th place finish in Vezina voting in that first year. It is 96-97 that things kind of go off the rails a little bit for him, but they played him 74 games. He finishes 27, 36, and 7. Those 36 losses in regulation are first in the NHL. .908 save percentage. So his save percentage stays about the same. And he played 4,271 minutes to lead the NHL in minutes played. So they overplayed him. And this was a known problem. The following season, his work is cut back a little bit, 67 games. His record 26-33. Those 33 losses lead the NHL. 7 ties, .906 save percentage. But at this point, some of the shine off of Potvin is gone. And so in 98-99, he had a knee injury. And then he only played 5 games for Toronto that year, going 3-2 with an .866 save percentage. And then he's traded. He's traded to the New York Islanders on January 9th of 1999 with a 1999 6th in exchange for a 1999 6th and Brian Berard. Berard became a Maple Leaf in that deal. In New York, well, New York, of course, this is right around the time of the Fishermen, right? This isn't long after that. New York is not a place of great success. So he goes 2-7-1 after the trade with an .893 save percentage. It's seen as kind of a disastrous year, but the expectation is now he'll get a full season in 99-2000, may very well be the starter for the New York Islanders, and it just doesn't work. 22 games with the Islanders, he finishes 5-14-3 with an .892 save percentage. So he's down. So what happens? Brian Burke puts in a phone call, makes a trade for Felix Potvin. This is when the whole goalie graveyard conversations going on with Vancouver. And Potvin's run in Vancouver is part of that talk. So December 19th of 1999, he's traded with a 2002 and a 2003 in exchange for Bill McCult, Dave Scatchard, and Kevin Weeks. Now, Kevin Weeks had been brought into Vancouver not long before that as the goalie of the future, and then he's gone. So Canuck fans were left scratching their heads wondering what's going on with goaltending. Now, for his part, after arriving in Vancouver, Potvin played pretty well. He plays 34 games, so he ends up playing 56 that season. Finishes as a Canuck 12, 13, and 7. The combined 27 losses between New York and Vancouver put him 7th overall that year. But a .906 save percentage in Vancouver, and he played pretty well. But the following season, it went way off the rails. 2000-2001, 35 games in Vancouver. The record of 14, 17, and 2 is not disastrous. The .887 save percentage was. And it was just, with Felix Potvin, it was really interesting that his confidence was kind of everything. If his confidence is there, he's a very good goaltender. But if it's shaky, there's the one spot you can score. Pretty sure it was high glove. And that became frustrating as a Canuck fan. To be watching a game go, just shoot high glove. And they shot high glove. They scored on him. And I know there's fans right now of other teams going, oh, I do that with our goalie. Yeah, it's something, and goalies know that happens too, where they'll have that one weakness in their game. And once it's there, the goalies that adapt and manage to overcome that are the ones that keep their careers going long term. The ones that don't adapt will end up likely in the AHL. So February 15th, 2001, in what would prove to be a controversial move, the Canucks, wanting to just be rid of Potvin, traded him for nothing from the LA Kings. This was a future considerations, but it was just basically they handed him off to the Kings. Well, at least it's not another team on the West Coast that's in your division. Oh wait, yes it is. And in LA, probably quite ticked off about how things ended in Vancouver and wanting to show he could still play. He plays 23 games with the Kings after being handed to them. Goes 13-5-5, .919 save percentage. Blows away any expectations of what he's going to do. And then in the playoffs, the Kings scored a first-round upset, move on to the second round, and honestly, it was a great run for Potvin. 13 games, 7-6 record, .909 save percentage. And Potvin versus Raw was a pretty solid matchup that year. So, expectations are high, and the following season, LA overplayed him. 71 games, 31 wins, which was 10th in the NHL, 27 losses, which is 7th, and 8 ties, .907 save percentage. And I really thought LA overplayed him that year. In 7 playoff games, he had a very good record, 3-4 with a .925 save percentage. He actually finished 7th in Vezina voting that year. That is as close as he got to a Vezina nomination outside of his rookie season. So, pretty good year for Potvin. The following season, it kind of goes off the rails again for him. So he finishes with 42 games played for the Kings in 02-03, 17-20-3 record, .894 save percentage. So, his contract expires. LA goes in another direction. And the Boston Bruins come calling on September 3rd of 2003. He signs as an unrestricted free agent. I'm going to say this, as a backup, Potvin was good for Boston that year. Not great, but he's good. He plays 28 games for the Bruins, finishes 12-8-6 with a .903 save percentage. And that would be the finish to his career. And it shows that, very good, nice, long career for him. 635 games played, which among goaltenders is 44th on the all-time list. 266 wins, which is 54th. 260 losses, which is 30th. 85 ties, and if you look at ties, overtime losses, he's 35th on the list with those 85. His save percentage of .905 puts him at 78th on the all-time list. But of course, some of those years are before we're into the era of the save percentage being higher, but it is something that drags down his overall stature, if you're going to look at it that way. In the playoffs, 72 games, 35-37 record with a .910 save percentage. His save percentage in the playoffs, higher than his save percentage in the regular season. He was a good goaltender in the playoffs. Like I said, he took LA to that unexpected run to the second round in 2001, 92, 93, as well as 93, 94. Pretty good playoff goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. So, nice long career. He's obviously not in the Hall of Fame or anything, but when I do career videos, very often I like to talk about players who may end up being forgotten years on down the road. At some point, people go, "Oh, I remember him." So we'll see if Felix Potvin ends up in that kind of category. But it again, it shows that the pressure, and I really think the pressure in Toronto was as high then, I think, as it is now. And because the Leafs got close to a Stanley Cup final in '93 and then in '94, the expectation levels were pretty darn high. And he did his best to meet them and tried to get them over the hump. They just came up short those 2 years, but pretty solid career for Felix the Cat Potvin. And his mask, one of my favorite masks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already for this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.